Good morning, good evening and good day, and welcome back to my channel wherever you are watching it from. Today's adventure, I've been asked by a magazine, an Australian motorcycle magazine, to do a story which I regularly write for these guys, but they wanted a story on suburban riding, so some interesting little destinations in and around Sydney. Well, that's where I am, so some suburban riding. Now, I don't normally do that sort of stuff. I just get out of the city as quickly and as easily and as fast as I can. So I've developed a route today that's going to take in some beaches and bays around Sydney, and particularly for my overseas mates, you can get a little bit of a look at what the eastern suburbs of Sydney looks like. So I'll be heading south to a place called La Perouse, and I'll talk about these places as I go. And then I've got a little list here. Then Little Bay, Malibar, Maroubra, Coogee. We'll call into Waverly Cemetery, Hope, Bronte, Tamarama, Bondi, then Watson's Bay, Camp Cove, and I'll give you all the little bits of juicy details about these places. Parsley Bay, Rose Bay, Double Bay. I'm just out here now because we've had a lot of rain overnight. It is the middle of winter here in Australia. I'm hoping there's 50% rain predicted today, but I see patches of blue. I'm just going to do it because if I don't do it today, I don't know when I'm going to get a chance to do it. Going on WALLY, a much easier bike to ride than Calamity Jane. And the main reason that is because the rake is 4 degrees shorter. So Calamity was in the era where Indian made the rake a little bit longer. So consequently the turning circles, she's heavy and a bit cumbersome. So certainly not meant for city riding. With WALLY, or the Chieftain series, were 4 degrees shorter, which makes them a lot more nimble. Even though WALLY does look like a much bigger bike, it's actually a much easier ride for me. Hopefully it'll all dry up. But this is my outdoor area here, and I've got this sort of gazebo thing that's all been ripped to shreds and it needs replacing. And this character here, I don't know how he's here and how I got him, but I have. And I've got myself a new little outdoor setting as well. The backyard of my apartment block, and there is a gym on that behind that wall and a pool. Let me show you the pool, which I use a lot in summer. It's lovely to go out at night when there's no one there and just cool off. Let's get going, shall we? Some of you may know I have this Aprilla scooter that I've sort of painted and customised a bit. She goes like the clappers. However, yesterday when I filled her up with fuel, she hasn't been running very well. It's missing, it's conking out. Whenever I put throttle on, it just won't go anywhere. So I've either put dirty fuel in there or water's got in it. So I've had to book her into a mechanic to have a look at that, which is a punish. Back a bit further. Leave Newtown. We're on our way to La Perouse, and I will tell you about La Perouse when we get there.
Take the next left.
So I can't trust Ride Command. It's got me going over there. The signs are going that way.
Take the first exit.
Port Botany. Little sprinkle of rain, but there's lots of blue sky patches. I'm not too bothered. Right, let me tell you a little bit about La Perouse. Done a little bit of research on all the places that we're stopping today, and I want to tell you about La Perouse. And I'm sorry, I haven't got a mind anymore that can remember too much. La Perouse is closely linked with Sydney's earliest European history. The ill-fated French navigator, after whom the place was named, arrived just days after Captain Phillips' first landing at Kurnell on the opposite shore over that way. The iconic Bear Island Fort. It's also a pretty under-the-radar location for whale watching. Oh, we won't see any whales today. And there's also a museum here. I've got to fix that. Let's go and see what these divers are about. You going diving?
Yep.
Yep. What do you see out there?
Here there's seahorses.
Seahorses?
Fishes,
You've got all the gear there. Right.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm from Philippines.
Oh, okay.
I live here.
You live here? Yeah. So you seen any whales?
Oh, whales? No.
No? What about
Not
sharks?
from the water.
Sharks? I wouldn't like that. Are you cold to be doing this sort of stuff?
It's warmer in the water than
Oh, okay then. Yeah. Is it true that you just pee in your suits to get yourselves warm?
They say there's two types of divers, those that admit to peeing in their suit and those that lie.
These guys aren't liars.
Yeah.
That's Bear Island over there, yeah, which was a fort, right?
Yeah.
It's quite busy with all those containers.
You can hear those ships.
Can you? You can hear them underwater. And do they churn up stuff? So no. It's not. Oh, there's a rainbow.
This is all part of the...
Oh, it's a gang. It's like a bike gang, but it's a diving gang. So how long do you actually stay out there in the water?
On a good day, about 70 minutes. On
Right.
a bad day, like today, maybe 50, 30.
Right. Okay. Fishing for anything, or you just go looking?
No.
Take photographs and
Take
things
photos, yeah.
and video. Get those big gropers here.
Yeah. They're like little puppy dogs. They just come up to you.
Oh,
and
do they?
They want to cuddle. They
follow us
around. Yeah, they follow you around.
Oh.
No sport experience.
Be safe, gentlemen. We're at Little Bay now. There's a lot of construction going on here, and we're at St Michael's Golf Club, which is pretty exclusive, I believe. St Michael's Golf Club. Fairly wealthy area, I think. Anything with water is, isn't it? Okay. Nothing here. Is this the best riding? Fuck no. Okay, that's where we were. And we're now down here. Thank God that wind's died down. I don't know how that last bit of footage is going to be with the divers. Okay, let's know about Little Bay. So Little Bay area was first used as a sanitation camp during Sydney's smallpox outbreak in 1881 to 1882. And that was to isolate the healthy. So that's Little Bay's claim to fame. This is the Banksia that this area is renowned for. This is an Australian type of shrub. Look, without a doubt, this is not a ride as such. This is not a ride video. It's a discovery video. And sometimes it's about the destination, not the ride. Because, you know, I don't know about you, but I love to learn about places. I've never been here before. I've lived in bloody Sydney for 100 years and I still didn't know about this. Now I've got to climb that friggin' hill again. That was an uneventful discovery. We're on our way to Malibar now. We're going to cut through Malibar as we make our way to Maroubra, and I'll talk about those places when we get there. Before I leave Little Bay, I want to tell you that I've got these new riding pants. I don't normally wear riding pants, but ladies, these are the best I've had. I've had many, and in my hastily, I left a lot of my riding pants and just went without them because I couldn't fit much more in with what I was doing. So I left like 3 or 4 pairs of riding pants behind that are no doubt in the trash. I had to buy another pair because I've got to go and do a story for the new Scout that's coming out for Indian, and one of the conditions is when I do these rides is that I've got protective gear on, of course. They are the best I've ever worn, so that's just a little thing, more so for the ladies, because it's hard getting pants to fit us girls. Let me tell you about Malibar, named after the passenger cargo steamer called the MV Malibar that shipwrecked at Long Bay on the 2nd of April 1931. So we're going to buzz through Malibar before we get to Maroubra. Right, this is Little Bay, and that's didn't realise there were so many high-rise and apartments here. That's Long Bay Jail there. I think that's maximum security, so that's where all the hardcore guys go. Next stop, Malibar. Ladies, is there anything down there?
Yeah, there's a shooting range.
Oh, a shooting range.
Yeah.
Going on here today, a shooting thing. I don't want to get shot, do I? There it is. Maroubra Beach is next. Day's warming up. Coming into Coogee now, which is, you know, a bit of a trendy spot of Sydney. I'm not a big fan of the eastern suburbs. of Sydney. I am an inner west girl. It's a bit more artsy, I think. The eastern suburbs has got a, I don't know, up themselves vibe. That's my opinion. I'm getting sick of it already, this city riding. Just gives me the shits. All this stopping and traffic lights and idiot drivers. Well, I wanted to bring you here as well, to the cemetery. I'm going to tell you about Maroubra, the home of the notorious Bra Boys. For those unfamiliar with this infamous gang, they ruled the area at one stage. The name Bra is a reference to the gang's suburb, Maroubra. The gang story stretches from Maroubra to international surf stardom and includes the fateful events of the 5th of August 2003 when Jay shot dead Maroubra underworld figure and childhood friend Tony Hines, only to be acquitted on the grounds of self-defence. Waverly Cemetery, there it is there. It's a place that reminds us that you can't take it with you. Notable figures buried here include Australia's first Prime Minister, Edmund Barton, poet Henry Lawson, and Archibald Prize benefactor A.J. Archibald, among many others. It's a huge cemetery and it's got one of the best bits of real estate in Sydney. I love visiting cemeteries and reading the headstones. All happening today, isn't it? It's getting busy too, Saturday morning. So it's traffic jam shit now. Bye, Coogee. Can't stop there, it's too busy. We're running along the coastal little road here. That was punishing because all the shit drivers are out now. It's getting peak time. Coming into Bondi Beach now. I'm not a fan. It's too busy. It's too many fuckwits. I mean, it's a beautiful beach, don't get me wrong, but there's much nicer places in Australia and much better beaches. But this one has the infamy, I guess. We went through Bronte Beach. Contrary to popular misconception, the Bronte Beach was named after the was not named after the Bronte sisters. It was actually named after the British military figure, Vice Admiral Horatio Nelson, Duke of Bronte. That's that. And up there as well, didn't go through it, it's too friggin' busy, is Tamarama Beach, original name Gamma Gamma, which means storms. And how appropriate is that? Because we've sort of got some stormy weather happening.
From the Philippines.
Philippines, oh,
Yeah.
The second person I've met today from the
Yeah.
Philippines. Oh, he's got a Harley Davidson hat
Yeah.
on. Much better.
Huh?
Better than Harley Davidson.
You?
Indian, look,
Very
Indian.
good.
Yeah.
I got a Sportster.
Ah, yeah, I had a Sportster too. They're good. No, we have this friendly rivalry, the Indian and Harley Davidson.
Let me do it.
Yeah. Oh, you want to ask me questions about this bike? Yes.
You like
Yeah, YouTube in the Philippines. And what's the name of that?
Romeo Talk TV.
Romeo Talk TV.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Romeo Talk
TV.
TV. Okay.
Upload this video on YouTube.
Okay. And then I'm going to be on Philippines YouTube TV.
Forget subscribe Romeo Talk TV.
Yes.
Okay, can you say?
Yes, please subscribe and follow and hit the bell for Romeo Talk TV and follow his adventures. And while you're at it, you can follow mine. Lovely to meet you.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll come to the Philippines and ride. So there you go. Even though the ride, oh shut up. I'm not listening to you anymore because where we're going to now, we're going to Watson's Bay. Look, even though the ride has not been good, I've met some really interesting people and I've discovered stuff that I didn't even know about in Australia. So we're now off to Watson's Bay and then there's Camp Cove. Then I'm going to go through Rose Bay and Double Bay. Then I'm going to end up at Paddington Markets where I'll probably grab a bite to eat. Then we'll scoot up the mountains, I think, as long as the weather's okay. Bye-bye, Bondi. All these homes are worth multi-million dollars. They all overlook the Sydney Harbour. Don't know that you can see that, but the Harbour Bridge and the Opera House are just over there. That's what makes this place so expensive. So we've just passed a place called the Gap as well, which is a famous suicide leaping point for for people jumping off into the ocean. We're now at Watson's Bay, and there's Doyle's, which is a fairly famous fish and chip place. It's very overrated, I think. They've got the fancy restaurant, which is very expensive, and they've got a little fish and chips outlet, but I've never been that impressed, I've got to tell you. So let's get a shot. Well, I skipped the $100,000 fish and chips here at Watson's Bay. We're going past, I won't be able to get any footage of it, but there's Camp Cove and Sydney's nudist beach here as well. And I'll be skipping that for sure. Camp Cove. I wonder if I could get down there. It can be a bit tricky, these little streets, so let's see. I'm just trying to get back to the city, to Double Bay and Rose Bay.
This is basically a military base.
Oh, is it?
You've entered the extreme end of Watson's Bay.
Have I? Make my way actually back to the Blue Mountains.
You turn here.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
on this hill.
And
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Very
You turn
difficult.
Here.
Well, that was about my 20-point turn on a hill. So I've come to a naval base and I can't get through. So I'm going back past Doyle's and onto the city. We'll go through Rose Bay, Double Bay. So you remember I was telling you about the gap before. This is the area, and that you can see people climb the fences and just jump off here. Oh, there's a few spots. There's a few spots that you can do that, but that's the Sydney Heads over there. It's where all the boats come in to get to the harbour. This is Rose Bay. Next is Double Bay. Double Bay, double pay, they say. Even the people look different here. They're very well maintained, shall we say. Double Bay, where the plastic surgeons are in big demand here. Well, this is just outside of Edgecliff, Wallara. We're heading to Paddington. So a lot of old money around here. Jewish community live around here. So lots of jewellers. That was a joke that this great comedian friend of mine, Jackie Loeb, used to talk about. She used to talk about the Jewish jewellers in the eastern suburbs. They're very well put together though. It is the beautiful people, I've got to say. I'm not one of those. We're now in Paddington, and it's been years since I've been to the Paddington markets, but they used to be quite famous. I wonder if they're still on. So here we are at Paddington markets. We have second-hand stuff, new stuff, a lot of crafty stuff that tourists would like, very sort of bespoke Australiana sort of stuff. It has reduced a lot since the days I was here. It's not as busy. That's Paddington Markets. It's a quarter of the size it used to be. I didn't get any food because there wasn't anything that I fancied. It's like a spanner thing. Yeah. That's the end of my day. I got it all in. Put Wally away, shall we? Okay guys, I'll see you again next time. Thanks for joining me. I don't know if it was very much of interest, but I hope you got a little bit of something out of it.